Hey, it's Em. And yes, I am wearing the same shirt as in my last video, which tells me it's been a week since my last video because I have this weird hang up where I wear colored clothing based on the ruling planet for the day of the week. Don't ask, it's a thing. Fridays are ruled by Venus, so on Fridays I wear pink or green. And since I just saw Anne Juliet, this is an Anne Juliet shirt, and I really liked it. On Fridays I've been picking this shirt. So if you're wondering, that's why. If you're here for the book review, we can move on. The Talent by Daniel Daddario, I guess is how you probably say it. I don't know for sure, so apologies if I got that wrong. He is a writer for Variety, and this book is a fictionalized look at 5 Best Actress nominees and the awards season that they endure, starting in, I think, around September with some of the film festivals, and then, pushing through the nominations and the awards. Now, this book doesn't name the awards. It talks about the fun award ceremony that is about a month before the big one, and the fun one is the one where you get to eat and drink. So we all kind of know that's the Golden Globes, and we know the big one is the Academy Awards, colloquially known as the Oscars. These women, they do like magazine cover shoots, and they go to these luncheons and have these various interactions. So the 5 characters are, see if I can even remember, Adria, Davina, Contessa, Biddy, who's the 5th one? Jenny. The chapters are in, from each point of view of the various women. Adria and Jenny are both older women, I would say late 60s, early 70s, so they've kind of been they've been in the same circles for a long time. Adria has always won. She's won 3 times now. Jenny's gone up against Adria at least a couple of times and always lost to her. Then Davina is a British stage actress who did some kind of film, like it was a Shakespeare with a twist kind of thing. And so she's nominated for that. Contessa was a child star, I get the sense it was like Disney Channel-esque kind of thing, who is trying to be seen as a serious actress now, but she's still only like 22. So she did a film version of The Glass Menagerie. She played Laura, if you know Tennessee Williams. There is a little bit about her older co-star Eleanor, who plays her mother Amanda in the movie, and some of the tension there, because this Glass Menagerie version is all black, I think, except for the gentleman caller is white and played by this big star named Josh that both Contessa and Biddy have crushes on. We never see his point of view. He has a girlfriend named Rachel, but he plays Biddy and Contessa kind of, I don't want to say off one another, but he doesn't treat either one of them well, let's just say. Also, Contessa has a momager, her mother Melanie is her manager. Contessa's mother is white, this is pointed out a few times, and then Contessa, I guess, then is biracial, I'm supposed to infer. People keep saying how beautiful she is. And Biddy is a little bit older than Contessa. I want to say she's 25 or 26, and is kind of spiraling into alcoholism, it seems like, in this book. And her handler, PR person is constantly trying to deal with her. So, yeah. First of all, these 5 women do not sound at all distinct to me when I'm reading them. I know which chapter is which because each chapter tells you who and reminds you which movie. Let's see if I can find this says Davina Andronicus is her movie, right? And like, they're doing various things and it's all their internal monologue, but they're all relatively self-congratulatory and hyping themselves up and, oh, I'm a winner kind of thing. And they all kind of have the same level of shallowness. For some, it's, you know, it's one thing over another. Like, Biddy has a whole family backstory issue with her mom and her brothers. And I already told you about Contessa, and Adria has, you know, a husband who's more or less checked out. All he does is golf, and a daughter who barely will speak to her. Davina is a lesbian, and her wife and their son are back in London. And meanwhile, Davina is kind of having a thing on the side with the director of her movie. It feels like it's meant to be juicy in a way, but it's very dry. And then, like, everybody kind of looks up to Adria, but she's awful. I think they just look up to her because she keeps winning, maybe. I guess, you know, she's been successful in the business because success is measured, at least in part, by your wins, I suppose. And then Adria has this younger co-star, Dell, that she fights with over who's going to be nominated for lead actress and who's going to get the supporting nom, and, you know, that kind of thing. Like, but none of these women, except maybe Jenny, who you kind of feel bad for, but you don't get a whole lot of her. I don't know. At the end of the day, this felt very flat. And instead of juicy or intriguing, it was dry and just kind of cynical, not in a fun way, but in a almost mean-spirited way. And I don't know this guy. I used to read Variety. I miss the daily Variety. Daily Variety was what we used to read on set. It was a big deal to sit and go through the dailies, basically. I subscribed to Daily Variety for a long time, and then it switched to this kind of weekly format I think that it's on. I'm not even on their email list anymore, I don't think. I can't remember the last time I got an email from Variety, but if you've been in the industry, I thought I would like this because if you haven't been on this channel very long, yes, I used to work for a producer named Linda Obst. She passed away sadly last year. So, you know, I've been around the talent, which is our word for anybody in front of the camera, basically actors and actresses. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know this guy. I know he's met a lot of stars and celebrities and whatnot. I don't know if these are supposed to be people that I recognize. I didn't. I mean, I could kind of picture them, but they were not any one of them like one I wasn't like, oh, that's definitely so-and-so, that's definitely so-and-so. You know what I mean? They feel like maybe just archetypes in a way. And I just am not sure if this guy should be trying to write 5 different women because it wasn't working for me. It just, I gave it, it's like 2.5 stars. I mean, I rounded it to 3. It was fine. And the only thing that really kept me reading it was wanting to know who wins in the end. It starts, the prologue or whatever is them at the big awards ceremony, all waiting for the announcement. And then we go back and go through the season, as it were. And, you know, I wanted to know who won. And I actually even at times just thought, maybe I should just skip to the end and see. And just never mind any of this. Like, oh, and they had this TV show, Staying Up, which was very clearly supposed to be Saturday Night Live. And Davina goes on it. And she clearly is not aware of how shows like that work. And so she accidentally offends Adria by doing a skit that is unflattering to her, I guess. It's a series of things that happen during a season without there being a really good cohesive thread, even though these people do kind of cross paths periodically at various points. The through line wasn't quite there, and what was there was kind of dull. And not, I don't know, like I said, the characters didn't have a very distinct voice, each of them. I would think that a 22-year-old would sound pretty different from a 60-something-year-old, but they actually sounded very similar, except that Contessa used more exclamation points maybe in her interior monologues. this is like one of those things where the idea was really good, and it's a fun idea for a book, but the execution didn't work for me. And maybe that's just because I'm too close to like the subject matter, or maybe I'm so far removed now, years later, that like I'm not in touch enough. Like, if I were still reading Variety, would I feel differently? Maybe. I don't know. If I were on a set and reading this, would I be talking to other people about, ooh, who do you think he's using as references here or whatever? I don't know. I was hoping, I was hoping for something gossipy and juicy, not, like about real people, but like in a fun, like if it was going to be cynical, I wanted it to be in a fun way. And this wasn't fun. It felt like it should have been fun, and it wasn't. I think that's the bottom line for me. So anyway, that's The Talent by Daniel Daddario. If you've read it, let me know your thoughts. And if you know of something that maybe is similar to this, but might be more fun, like entertainment adjacent, like Hollywood adjacent, but fun. Last year I read The Guncle, and I also didn't find that very fun, but that wasn't a whole lot about Hollywood. It was about a guy who had been a TV star, but like that was not really the focus. So I'm thinking something more entertainment focused, but fun, as opposed to this, which just was kind of a drag, especially Biddy's stuff with her, like her drinking and everything. I was like, it's sad, and it happens to some people who don't handle their fame well, but at the same time, it felt repetitive because we kept seeing it, and it was not different or changing. It was Biddy's thoughts were very just the same cycle of thoughts about her mom, and so it was just like, and the book's only like 315 pages long, but it still doesn't feel like it needed even to be this long. I don't know. That's a bad sign, I guess. Tonight we're going to see Fantastic Four, so maybe I'll talk about that next time. I also am planning to possibly make a video about the Kauai Writers Conference, which I will be at in November, and the schedule came out, so we might look at the schedule and see like which, sessions sound like fun. Anyway, all of that coming up, and until next time, take care.